Okay, I am going to do just a quick tray, hopefully before my resin sets up over here. So, I have my resin mixed. I just have it sitting on a piece of vinyl backing because the cup's a little sticky. But I'm going to use just black mica and a little bit of my favorite messy resin dye I have. This is the black opaque Alumilite. But if you've seen me use this before, you know my bottle's a little messed up, so it leaks. I really need to get around to ordering a new one at some point, but I just haven't yet. So I'm just trying to get a couple drips out of here. I don't need much. Okay. Hopefully soon, because this is ridiculous. So I'm going to, and these are just super, super cheap gloves that I use to handle that because, yikes. So I'm going to mix that quick. I don't want to touch the cup because there is a little bit of resin on the outside of the cup. I made a mess when I mixed it. So I'm going to slide out another pair of gloves quick. And then I'm going to mix that quick and move it out of the way for a second. Okay, that's better. And I have no idea if this is going to work. This is just a complete experiment for me. So, all right, I'm going to slide this out of the way a second. Keep it on its base. Take a sip of my coffee. All right, so what I'm going to try to do is brush the mold itself with this little sample I have of Chameleon pigment. It says bright blue to green to gold, and this is from solarcolordust.com. It's in a baggie, so I'm going to try and just sprinkle a little bit to start, and then I'll spread it from there. I'm going to use this little dauber thingy. I'm just going to try and brush, the entire base of the mold. I'm not going to go in all the cracks and crevices. I'm just going to try and get this flat part. If a little bit of it sprinkles into the edges, I'm not going to worry about it, but I'm not going to go for full coverage on the entire thing. I may just run it around quick when I'm done, but it just kind of looks white now. But typically these kind of pigments, once they get black on them, is when the magic happens. So that's why I'm going to do black for the entire rest of the mold. And hopefully I mixed up enough resin. If not, I can top it off tomorrow because I'm not going to mix any more tonight. So I'm just going to drag it around the edge a little bit here. So some spots will have more coverage than others, but that'll be fine. You can see where there's more in this edge than maybe the rest of the edge, but I just don't want to use all of my pigment on a who knows what's going to happen project. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour in the black on top, and we'll have to wait until it's out of the mold to see how it looks. And I think I mixed too much resin. I couldn't remember how much this took. So I might be a little bit over, but I shouldn't be over by too much because I thought this was a little more than 6 ounces. And I mixed up 7 because I had a cup to do too. So actually, that's about perfect. That makes me happy. And I will get this board that this is sitting on leveled in just a second, because I know where this is sitting on this table. It's not going to be leveled on its own. So I will use my fancy popsicle stick levelers, as I tend to do. But yeah, I think that is just about perfect. So 7 ounces I mixed plus whatever I used on the cup, which was probably 10 or 20 mLs. So not bad. My hands are super shimmery from that. My sweatshirt is shimmery. So I'm going to go to work tonight with a little bit of sparkle. Let me grab my level. These boards that I use are magnetic, so when I level on them, I can just stick the level to it. So I think I should just need like 1 popsicle stick down there. That's pretty good. And might just need a slight tilt up on that edge as well. Alright, so that's pretty good now. I don't normally torch too much on these molds, but I'm just going to torch towards the center real quick, because it is pretty bubbly. And I'm going to grab one of these little sticks I have, and I'm just going to drag the edge really, really quick, just to make sure there's no trapped bubbles down there. So going this direction, I should be scraping the outer edge all the way around. And then I'm going to do it the opposite way, which should be scraping the inner edge of that lip. And that should release anything that might have been trapped in there. So, there are still quite a few bubbles coming up. I do have a little bit of time to watch this tonight, so I will watch it for a little bit. But I'm going to just, I think that was a little bit of the chameleon that just came off of my hand. So now I'm curious what happens if I just sprinkle some on. I'm just going to dust the back with whatever's stuck to this stick. And I'm going to grab that stick back and like break that blob up. Okay, so I'm just going to spritz this with alcohol real quick. This is just 91% isopropyl alcohol. That I use in a mini mister. These are Ranger. They come in a 3-pack. You can use whatever mister you have though. Oh, I was going to get that bubble and it just worked itself out, so excellent. Do not spritz it with alcohol and then immediately hit it with your heat gun. You will set the alcohol on top of your project on fire, so don't do that. I will watch this for bubbles for a little bit because I do have a couple popping up, and then I will come back tomorrow and we will unmold it and see what we got with this. So I decided to just pick up the bag and give it a little extra sprinkle, just because I'm impatient and I want a little bit of an idea of what tomorrow's going to bring. And wow, it looks very green right now on this side, but it's got a consistent light source, but it is supposed to be like a shift, so you can see it run through the green and the gold, but it should have a blue at some point. I'm just not seeing the blue right now, but oh, see, if I tilt this way on the reflection, I get the blue. because it's picking up the blue from the flowers on the wall. But I think it's going to look pretty cool. Okay, I'm just going to unmold this quick. The back side where I put that on looks really cool. So hopefully the front looks good. You can see some of that blue at that angle. Whoa. This is supposed to have a 3-color shift. I just can't. The blue, the green, and I don't remember what the 3rd color was. And of course I closed it up. The gold, obviously. I forgot the gold. So you can see that it's gold and it sits like this. And then you can see the blue and the green. Pretty cool. You can see the blue, especially at this angle. That's how these work. Depends on how the light hits them. So that's that. I think this would look cool with some kind of a decal or something and a little bit of resin poured inside, but I don't know that I'll go that far or not. Very green at that angle. I would probably work on rubbing it down a little bit more in the future, but as you can see, it is sealed in. I'm not getting anything on me from that. So that's it.